feel like the first time it was organic.
How did it go again? B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. Then what did I say?
No.
I don't know what you said. See, it's not as good.
I said don't continue
I just want you all to know that you guys missed a gem of an intro.
It was great.
Ash actually came in with the bingo song like no one's ever heard it before.
The bingo, and he did some improv, and then he didn't record it.
I mean, I pressed the button. It just didn't work.
I mean, I've seen the way that you are with buttons.
What is that? Ooh.
You call yourself a YouTuber?
Oh, Lord. Guys, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast, the best damn podcast you've heard
today.
Okay.
He's Andy Case.
Dude, why are you saying my last name?
Oh, shit.
It's literally in the tagline.
Because this is a throwback episode. Throwback box office.
People are gonna hit my address up. They're gonna know where I live now. We have people knocking on the door.
That your real name isn't Andy.
I was gonna say your legal name isn't Andy.
Well, now you just gave him more information.
I didn't
you guys want
tell
to keep
him
going?
what your name is.
His name is Kareem Abdul-Case.
I knew it. I knew it was.
Stupid. Oh, my God. If this is the first time you guys are listening to the podcast, I apologize. We're off our rockers today.
Don't ever apologize.
We took a week break, so now we're jumping back into the thing of swings.
We're refreshed. We're ready.
Yes. So listen, this is our our box office.
You never told anybody who you were.
You already did it for me.
But who's that?
I don't know. My co-host
Amanda
is Amanda. And what are you?
Ashley.
Disappointing.
I'm
Dude,
sorry to be here.
All day.
All day? You mean the last 10 minutes?
Yes.
When you've been pushing my buttons instead of the ones on the recorder?
Boom.
So.
Got him.
Dear, help me, Jesus. This is the box office throwback.
Woo!
If you don't be so excited. We have done this a couple times before. Go check out our 1999 episode and our 2000 episode where we jump on the box office train of that year. What was popular? What was hot? And let's talk about the movies. Let's see if we know them. Did we watch them? Did we love them? Did we hate them? Ash should have some pulled up here.
Choo-choo.
Jump on the train.
We're on the box office train.
Yeah, we are, baby.
I will say this, though, before we get going. Where were you guys in 2001? What was your situation?
2001, I was in middle school. I was in
8th grade?
8th grade.
Good year. Good year.
So technically transitioning from 7th to 8th, right?
Yes.
The way that school years work.
Yes.
Yeah, fair. Did you like 8th grade?
Yeah, because I went to a middle school that was smaller, and so there wasn't too many. There was only like 150 kids over 3 grades. So it was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And we were big nerds because you had to play an instrument. But like when you were an 8th grader, you were like the cool kids. You were cool. You were the seniors.
Yeah. You ran the school.
Yeah,
in 8th
and so
grade.
you were cool. And I had purple
Did you
spiky
make
hair. I was cool.
Purple spiky hair?
I mean, at least I thought I was cool.
Did you make your way to the theater much in 2001?
I think so. I mean, at that point, my parents probably would have been paying for it. Like, maybe.
Fair. I know I was a senior. We already talked about this. I was going into 2002 when I graduated. So I think I went to a decent amount of movies. What about you?
I would have been freshman, sophomore in high school. Not my best years. 2001, that's when like 9/11 happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that was a big deal.
That was a big deal. That was intense. I remember. I was in the morning in the cafeteria and I was like, what's happening? And they'd wheeled the TVs out and like we had to watch this whole thing. And then of course all day at school too. So 2001 was a pretty monumental year for that type of stuff.
Well,
that's crazy.
Right. Because it happened at the beginning of the school year, right? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I think it very much was interesting because like I know for me, like obviously we're not going to sit and talk about this forever, but
No, this is the throwback.
I really,
box
I
office
didn't
episode.
understand exactly what I understood what had happened. I just didn't understand what it meant.
No, even high schoolers didn't grasp truly what was going
You're
on.
more
They
like
knew,
you're more like, oh shit.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like
yeah, everyone was like, "Whoa, a tragic accident," and then it just started to develop more and more. It was insane.
Yeah.
But we will not have a downer episode. We could talk about that another time. Let's talk about
Okay.
movies.
So
So I was a senior, so I was going on some dates doing movies, and you guys were not. So I wonder if I've seen more of these. than
So I
you.
always ask you guys, what do you think was the highest grossing, I should say, box office film of 2001?
I've been wrong the last 2 times we've done this, so I'm just gonna stick to what I know at this point, and I'm just gonna try to make a safe bet and say a Star War.
I'm
Star Wars.
Star
Just a
Wars.
single
No,
Star
Attack of the
Wars.
Clones. It would be Attack of the Clones if it is the top grossing movie of the year. It would be Attack of the Clones.
I will go with Amanda on that because I was nerdy as well, and I remember collecting the Pepsi cans when those came out, and I swear 2001 was like when that was hot because 1999 was
Phantom Menace.
and 2 years later I thought it came out for Clone
That's
Wars.
where
So,
my thought process is. I know that Revenge of the Sith I saw in high school. So like I'm
Okay.
trying to be like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
strategery.
okay, I like it. So I'm with Amanda. That's our guess.
Okay, well, y'all are wrong because that movie came out in 2002.
God
Dang
damn
it.
it. Okay, well now we know the answer for next time.
No, we're going back to 1998 next
Damn
time.
it.
Okay, Harry Potter, guys.
Oh, Harry Pooter.
I forgot all about
Potter
Harry.
numero uno. The first one,
That was 2001, the very first one.
the Sorcerer's Stone. That was the first one.
Yeah,
right?
that's the very
Yeah.
first one.
Oh,
What's
wait.
crazy is that
Yeah.
came out on VHS and DVD, and that makes me feel even older to know 2001 VHSs were still dropping.
Yeah, dog.
This movie is so hard to get through.
Now.
Now?
Yes, I think so.
For one, they're babies, right? They're all brand new actors.
Yeah.
They've never done this before.
Fair.
They're all quiet little British kids, and the movie's so long and slow compared to the other ones.
I know we've tried to have Cam sit down and watch Harry Potter, and she can't. She literally can barely get through it until he gets to Hogwarts. Like then she's like, I'm not interested,
Right.
Because it's so that whole. She's like, Daddy, why are they throwing him in a closet? Daddy, why
Right.
are all the envelopes flying everywhere?
We're not
Daddy,
in the
who's
throes
Hagrid?
of magic.
Like,
You're not in Hogwarts
Yeah.
yet. Like, you know, in the initial scenes or whatever. Like, you're not in the middle of it. You're not in the thick of it. So you have to get all that backstory out of the way
Sure.
and all the slow conversations and.
Well, I
It's
know
hard.
for me, like my whole family was obsessed with Harry Potter except for me. And so they were reading all the books and stuff and they were so into
Right.
it before the movies even came out. So then the first movie comes out and everyone like was super ready. So we all went and I remember being like this movie's fun. Like it's fine. Like
yeah.
but I think the Harry Potter movies are fine, but I've never been like particularly enthralled by them. But yeah, this one, going back on it now, this one's hard to get through. It is slow.
I was with you, Amanda. I was never on the Harry Potter train, even through all 7 of them. I also never read the book, so maybe
Yeah.
that's why I didn't have the interest level that everybody did. Were all the books complete before that movie came out?
No.
Or no? Okay. See, so she's like currently writing them while these films are coming out at the same time. So I don't know. It was like too long, didn't read, couldn't catch up.
And it just very much was one of those things where I think I don't know. There was just something about, especially like the first 2, I
Yeah.
really don't enjoy them.
Well, first one, Harry's just a prisoner in his house, and second one, they fly in a car, right?
Yeah, well,
Is that-
especially like the first one, right? Like
That's the entire synopsis.
That's all I ever remember.
the first one's hard because it's all these little kids and
Yeah.
not some of them aren't great, but then like you said, Ash, like the first huge chunk of that movie is just him being essentially like child abuse. And
Yeah.
it's like, this is not fun. This isn't fun to watch. Like,
Yeah, I don't think I watched any Harry Potter movies until maybe the third or fourth installment. So I think when it gets to that point, it's like if you go back and watch the first one to like catch up, like it's fine, like because you know more is coming.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think when that's all you have to go off of, like I'm surprised. I think the only reason it's number one is because of people who read the books.
The hype train.
Sure. There was already a cult following.
Exactly,
Maybe
yeah.
not even cult, just a giant following
Yeah.
of it. So, sorry, we don't mean the entire podcast to be only about Harry Potter, but that was
This is
number
like a Harry Potter podcast.
that was number 1 though, right?
3 people who don't watch Harry Potter or read the books. Let's do a podcast.
3 people who don't love Harry Potter talk about Harry Potter.
That's not to say I didn't enjoy Harry Potter. I actually thought it got a lot better, like 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot of those more. But I didn't realize it was the number 1 box office in 2001.
I'm not shocked by that.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I think I'm going to be surprised about these ones.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think number 2 is?
Ooh. The Sixth Sense. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, 2001.
It's hard for me.
Oh. I'm going to say, was that The Matrix Reloaded? Oh, okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Wait,
Which one?
Hobbit beat Lord of the Rings?
What?
What?
Wait, why did I say Hobbit? Harry Potter. Sorry, they both start with an H. Sorry, Harry Potter beat Lord of the Rings. It was the first Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Now we're in fantasy zone, right?
Yeah.
With the Harry Potters and the Lord of the Rings.
I mean,
and
the movie's 3 hours long.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They are all
Right?
so long. I
They are
want
long.
to like the Lord of the Rings movies. I want to like them. But like I do enjoy them, but like I need the condensed version. I need the
Fair.
I need like the hour and 45-minute version.
Yeah, give her the 90-minute
Like,
version.
You don't want the
She's-
whole journey?
I just want the 1.5 speed. Like
fair.
I
fair.
and they get longer as they go on.
Yeah, and they get more epic, right? Because the
Yes.
5 armies come together
And-
at the last one.
And don't get me
like-
wrong, there's some
Wait, or is that the Hobbit?
there's some
I don't
there's some
remember
amazing
Everything's
visuals.
The Hobbit, and The Hobbit is everything.
But except you hated The Hobbit.
Can I get a shirt? No, I fell asleep. The problem with The Hobbit, I loved that story
Yeah.
growing up, and I loved the animated cartoon. I watched it a lot.
You just got too old to watch midnight releases?
No, the
Oh.
problem
Yes.
is Peter Jackson was like, I will take one like short story and turn it into 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it
Long-
makes money.
I get it, but I remember just being like, these dwarves are in the barrels for way too long. I think I fell asleep when they're
I
down
will
the river.
I will say R.I.P. Ian Holm.
Sure, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Sure,
Sure.
yeah.
Rest in peace. Sure.
Sure. You betcha.
Sure, I can agree with you on
You
that.
betcha.
Yes.
No, I will say like
Um,
that movie's beautiful, like especially bringing an somewhat older book into like the current genre. They did an amazing job. Peter Jackson did seriously such an amazing job on these movies. And it's kind of disheartening to go from how truly like the graphics and the visual stuff looked pretty good because there was a ton of practical effects. And
oh, absolutely.
to go
Yeah.
from that to now The Hobbit is a little sad in a way because The Hobbit, there are
Sure.
some scenes that look so fake. And the Lord of the Rings doesn't look as fake. There's obviously stuff that doesn't stand the test of time graphics wise, but the first one, I mean, they're all good. They're just really long.
Arguably, though, maybe it's just me. I thought that the Lord of the Rings was more popular. So yes, number 1 and number 2. So it's there, but maybe Harry Potter was more like adolescents and teenagers, where Lord of the Rings was more like
Teens.
20-something, 30-something.
I think Lord of the Rings might have been
maybe
more like
even
teens to adults.
or to like 50-year-olds or
Yeah.
something that
Ash,
like
do you-
read the book and
Are there like
D&D'd.
numbers? Like, is there box office numbers?
Yeah, like what?
Like how much
Amount.
did each movie make?
Harry Potter grossed $317.58 million, and Lord of the Rings grossed $315.54 million.
So they're not that far off.
$2 million difference.
They're not that far
That's what I was
off,
curious
yeah.
about, because I remember
Right.
those movies were both huge hits.
Yeah.
And so I was curious how far off they were, and they're really not that far at all.
I bet that Harry Potter can get more of a younger audience than Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Lord
that's-
of the Rings. I will say, I remember watching the first one and enjoying the introduction to Samwise Gamgee. Wait, Ash, tell him the story where you didn't know who that was for the longest time, and I kept saying it under my breath for no reason. And you'd be like, who is that? You remember that?
guys.
Samwise Gamgee? Wow, she
had-
did not come into that at all. She's literally just ignoring me.
She's obviously looking
Still.
something up.
I had this ranked wrong.
Oh, the tables have turned.
I will say I haven't screwed up yet, but the next one would have been a screw up, and it was really surprising to me. I'm like, how is this one number 3? It's not.
Okay, so talk to us again. So wait.
Samwise Gamgee's. Yeah. Yeah.
Samwise Gamgee.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I
and you
would
just
whisper
say-
it
You would just whisper
for
it.
no reason. I would
And
just
I'm
be like,
what
"Hey, Ash,
is that?
Samwise Gamgee,"
Samwise Gamgee.
and she'd be like, "What are you saying?" And she didn't know until she finally saw it. And now it kind of loses it for the audience because they're like, "That's stupid. You just said a name," but it was funny at the time.
It was.
Okay, so Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Can you tell us where they land on the list, though?
1 and 2. I didn't screw them up.
Oh, okay.
I didn't screw them up.
Okay.
But if I had kept going, I would have screwed up, guys.
Okay.
Check.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
'Kay.
We're with you. Let's do number 3.
Monsters Inc.
Oh, okay. I mean, Pixar was pretty hot in 2001,
I
right?
love Monsters Inc.
I know that's your jam.
It is my favorite Pixar movie. Sully is my favorite Disney character. That's all I have to say. I love it.
That was
Boo!
it for it to be like one of your favorite movies. That's all you have to say, just that you
Well,
like
for
Sully.
now.
Okay.
You guys can
I mean,
discuss.
I'll be honest. I was a Pixar fan from Toy Story onward. I loved almost everything that they put out. I think it wasn't. I started losing stuff and missing stuff right around the what's the feelings one called?
They're all about
Yes,
feelings.
Yeah, they're all about feelings. But I will say I missed some of them after that. But during that like 95 to 2000, like 2010, I feel like those 15 years I watched almost every Pixar movie.
Yeah.
I thought Monsters Inc. was great too. I thought it was an awesome premise that these monsters, their whole reason for being is to scare children, and it gives them energy and power. And if they're not scared, it's like Freddy Krueger. Once he's not scared anymore, he loses his powers. So I thought it was good, and it was a cool story. It was like a buddy comedy with 2 monsters. It was awesome.
And
It was
Sully's
awesome.
John Goodman, who
Yeah.
is great.
By the way,
John Goodman.
go join. Go join our Patreon if you'd like to hear about John Goodman. Mm-hmm. Amanda, talk to us. What was your Monsters Inc. feeling?
I really like it. I think it's really good. I think I liked it because it was a very original story.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a regurgitation of something we've already seen before. The graphics on Sully for being 2001 were amazing.
Ooh,
2000, whatever year the
Yeah.
hell we're talking about.
No, you're right. 2001.
Look,
I agree with you.
His first still looks amazing. Like, because you go back and you watch Toy Story and you're like, ooh, girl.
Yeah,
but
you're like, oh, that's a little rudimentary.
But you watch Sully and like, I remember when the movie came out that there was all these like featurettes about how long it took to animate his fur and all this stuff,
Right.
and how long it took to animate just the monsters in general. But they did such a good job that it still looks good. It's not my like top favorite overall, but I don't know if I have a favorite Pixar movie. It is one of my
You say Up, Get Out.
Up. I have seen Up one time. I will never watch it again.
Because you cried.
I cried like a baby.
I did. I never saw. I still haven't seen Up to
Also,
this day.
I'll be honest with you, I just don't love it.
Don't waste your time.
I really don't enjoy that movie. Like, it's just not.
Yeah, it's not your cup of tea.
I just don't think the story's that interesting. Like, I don't know. Anywho,
I just know it's an old man that gets his house and flies with balloons.
yeah, with a little boy. That isn't
With a
his
little boy
child.
and a dog that talks, and he lost his wife, and that's all I know.
And the police weren't involved somehow.
That's a Pixar movie.
Yeah. No, I think
For
it's
you.
I think it's fine. I think it's good.
I mean, it was good enough to span sequel. So
Honestly, I
Spawn.
love Monsters University. I really like Monsters
Yeah,
University.
It's
me too.
cute too.
Um, for it being the third highest grossing film of the year, but also the highest grossing kids movie of that year, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, I can give that
Yeah.
to Monsters Inc. That makes sense.
Next was Shrek.
Oh, goddamn Shrek! Wait,
What's
so,
crazy?
So how were they mixed? I don't understand. Like, how did your list
Yeah, you
have
said
them?
you mixed them, Ash. What were you saying?
Oh, they were ranked by popularity.
Oh, okay. So they just happen to be the same.
The same first two.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Shrek could have cost more to make than Monsters Inc. That's entirely
yeah,
possible.
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I've talked
I
at
almost
length.
feel-
This is gross, not net. So
Oh, okay, fine.
okay.
I feel like I've talked before about how much I love Shrek. I will talk about it again. I think Shrek is almost a perfect movie. I think it's amazing. It's hilarious. The graphics still look pretty all right.
Yeah.
Quotable. Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers in his prime.
Yeah.
Banger. Absolute platinum banger.
And you can also thank Chris Farley for passing away, or you wouldn't have a Mike Myers as Shrek.
Thanks, Chris. So
Oh, so sad.
R.I.P. I guess.
R.I.P.
Too soon.
No, I honestly, the one thing I actually really like about the Shrek movies is I think that their soundtracks are awesome.
Yeah.
They have this like really cool mix of like remakes, but also kind of like indie hits, and the music just matches the movie really well. I love Shrek.
I mean, we have to say that it skyrocketed Smash Mouth. Like
They were
All-Star
already known, but All-Star
they were already known, but oh my god, that movie freaking went nuts.
Then I saw her face.
All-Star was like such a huge hit that now people are tired of hearing it.
Oh no, now it's a parody. They're almost the Nickelback.
I don't care.
Phase.
I don't care if I have to go to the Puyallup Fair and see Smash Mouth. As long as I get to see them do All-Star, I will go.
I will say that we have to give credit to DreamWorks because this was the first movie where Pixar was probably like, butt cheeks are clenched. They are coming out with some decent 3D animated movies now.
Honestly,
So-
I think that Monsters Inc. did better box office wise because it's a Disney movie.
Sure.
Oh, I'll give you that.
But I think that Shrek itself had way more longevity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it had
Yeah.
a little bit more adult, not even
No,
adult
no,
themes, but like
there's adult humor. The jokes
Yeah.
in there, dude. Like there's a gingerbread man joke that I think made me laugh forever. I don't remember what it was, but
Well, I
Like-
mean, Lord Farquaad takes his legs off and then taunts him with them. Like, I mean,
Yes.
honestly, like, and I would say that, like, Shrek obviously has spawned multiple sequels and spin-offs and stuff. And for the most part, I think they're all pretty good. But I don't know, man. I think that like you get Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy right when they're both riding high still. And
yeah, sure.
this
sure. That's
movie
fair.
kept them relevant for a really long time. I think
I would say that Cameron Diaz was also relevant at that time.
agreed. I agree.
Yeah. And John Lithgow.
Yeah.
I've always hated Lord Farquaad's character design.
You're supposed
I cannot
to hate him.
I cannot stand the midget Napoleon.
The
like,
haircut.
Oh, everything. Dude, he looks like a baby dick
I
running
love
around.
it.
I
I
cannot
love
handle
him.
it.
I love him.
I mean, I do like him as a character, but I remember like despising his design. Like I was like, "Ugh."
I love
And
it.
they did it right.
All right. So what we've gotten through 4 and we're already a half an hour in.
Whoop-de-doo. Live a little, Andy.
Sorry.
Okay,
you
fine,
hit-
let's go to
You hit
5.
it like Ashley's favorite animated movie, and then you hit my favorite animated movie. Okay,
Right.
sorry.
Right?
Yep. And
Right,
then
so
hopefully
here's
my favorite
Andy's-
animated movie is next.
Well, it's not animated,
Oh,
but
okay.
it is Rush Hour 2.
That
Banger.
Here's Andy's
Banger.
favorite one.
Banger.
Okay. For what it's worth, Amanda's already a Jackie Chan nut job
I
over
fucking
here.
love Rush Hour.
So I know she loves it, but I will be honest with you. I remember Rush Hour 1 pretty well. I don't remember the premise of Rush Hour 2.
So it's in the first one, Jackie Chan comes to America. In this one, Chris Tucker goes to China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I think that it was like at its time probably pretty entertaining, right?
It was the type of humor at that time, yeah.
Yep. And again, it's literally a buddy cop movie. That's what it is. It's a buddy cop comedy
Yeah,
with action.
and
Yeah.
Jackie Chan, who I'm sorry, early 2000s, Jackie Chan.
Yep.
Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Ain't nobody understand the words that come out of your mouth.
I mean, that type of stuff was like maybe not allowed now. You SOL now.
I mean, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the jokes that they made like that, like it's also like Jackie Chan says that, but then Chris Tucker's in his reply, he's talks so fast that it's like you
sure.
could barely understand him either.
I will say though, with Jackie Chan being where he was, I think Chris Tucker was pretty high at that time too, right? Like he was pretty.
What else did Chris Tucker do?
I cannot tell
The-
you. I don't know. Fifth Element
Yeah,
was
but
a big one
I
for him,
think
but
that-
I know that wasn't a big character.
Okay, so when he was in the Fifth Element, he was like Rockin' Roddy or whatever the character's name is. That's an
Yeah, I don't
awesome
remember.
character. It's over the top. It's crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think he had any like major hits until Rush Hour 1.
Should we
and-
do Chris Tucker street cred? See how it goes.
No.
Do it as a
Absolutely
Patreon.
not. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen a Chris Tucker movie, or maybe I have and he just wasn't like that significant of a character. But I recently watched Air.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's a main character in that.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He's hard to look at. Like my brain wants to rearrange his face, and I don't know what to do about it.
He has a lot of
I can't handle his face.
his skin always looks like he has foundation on it.
Well,
It's
and I feel
always
like,
looked that
I feel
way,
like
yeah.
his eyes are gonna dry out.
So Amanda,
Yeah.
Rush Hour was your jam, right?
Loved it.
Also, Chris Tucker was in Friday. That was a big one. That was a huge movie
Yeah.
for him. Him and Ice Cube, right?
And
Go
I
next Friday.
he was
And then he's in Money Talk.
Yeah, with
he's
Charlie
in Money
Sheen.
Talks with Charlie Sheen. He's in I guess he was in House Party 3. I didn't realize that. I don't know
Love
if that's
House
true.
Party 3.
I know you did. I know that was your jam. But Amanda, I think you're right. I think Rush Hour is what put him on the map.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. So that makes
But
sense.
also, I think people thought he was Chris Rock, so
No, very
there was
different.
some confusion.
Very different. He's a lot taller. That is all. Okay, so number 6.
The Mummy Returns.
Oh, passing that one over to Amanda just because she's a Mummy fan.
I know we've talked about The Mummy Returns
Yeah,
before
we have.
because we've done a Brendan Fraser episode.
She's already upset.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
So the Mummy Returns. Okay, so like that's the one with the Play-Doh rock as the Scorpion King.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, obviously there's stuff in that movie that isn't the best. The graphics really don't hold up.
Sure don't.
But even at the time, they were not good. And so basically they were trying to rush the movie out.
Yeah.
And I think that hurt it a tiny bit. But honestly, like it's really good. Now it involves their son. Their son gets kind of involved in this whole mummy thing. A lot of the similar faces come back. It's awesome. I mean, apparently 2001 was a banger year for me.
Yeah. Did you know that was your 8th grade was going to be your peak for movies?
I did not. No, I think it's good. I think the first one's better, but this one's still really good.
I do agree with Amanda that like graphically, I thought the first one was better done. And then like all these special effects seem to be a very muddy, The Rock, though, I'm coming from a different perspective because in 2001, I was a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And they promoted this movie like it was fucking Casablanca. Like they were like, The Rock is the biggest Hollywood movie star ever. He's in the brand new Mummy Returns movie. And then you went to the theater like, oh my God, The Rock's in this. This is going to be awesome. And you watch it. And when he comes out, derpy derpin, dude, like as the Scorpion, it is terrible.
Well,
and I remember people gave The Rock shit. They're like, dude, you'll never make Hollywood because of how shitty this film portrayed you.
Well,
so
I think it's hard because
who's laughing now?
you have basically The Rock, him as this character, like the Scorpion King, he opens the movie. And so you see him. If you didn't already somehow know who The Rock was,
right?
You watch this movie and they show you his character, and then you don't see him until the end. So all this whole movie, they're trying to stop the Scorpion King, wake him up, whatever. And you finally get him, and they awaken the Scorpion King, and like you hear him like rumbling behind these huge doors, and you're like, this is it. And then he busts out of these doors, and you see like scorpion legs, and you're like, oh shit. And then you see his face. And
it's rough.
I
dude.
think that if they
did him dirty,
if they had him be maybe like skeletal, or if they remember in the first first Mummy movie, they had an actor who wasn't a super huge American movie star, so that helped. But also, when they had the computer graphics, he was as a mummy, or he was like half man, half mummy. So yeah, it's gonna look a little shitty, but the bad texture was meant to look like rotted skin and stuff. So I think there was a little bit of wiggle room there. This one, they're trying to make the top half of a half man, half scorpion.
It's a centaur, but a scorpion bottom.
They're trying to make it look exactly like The Rock does right now. And it's like, it looked like PlayStation 2 Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It was bad.
I play those games way too much to know their character design, and literally they're like, hey, let's just consult with the Tony Hawk guy because that is gonna look the realest.
Yes.
What's your budget? Dude, we could do it for $350 max, man. He's like, I got you covered.
Just buy bread a bag
I
of
just
weed.
know if I was The Rock, I'd be like, I'd watch that and be like, oh my God, what did you do to my character? The wrestling games at the time that were on PlayStation 2 looked better than that. So, no, freaking, like, I remember the movie coming out. I remember audiences that already enjoyed The Mummy didn't hate it, but I remember as a wrestling fan, people were like, dude, they did The Rock dirty.
Was that his first movie?
That was The Rock's first film.
Do you think there was something with like his likeness
that they just had an issue with?
That wasn't like permitted?
No. He signed on to that. Like he was like, you have my full, like do everything that you can, but they just had they had bad mapping.
I think
the time.
it was it was the unfortunate victim of trying to do things that we just graphically didn't have the capability to do yet, but also at the same time they rushed that movie out. I think that if they had had more time to really refine a lot of things, it would have been better. Like the graphics. Agree with her.
So that was what, number 6?
Yes.
Okay. What we got?
Pearl Harbor.
Hey, we have an episode coming out really soon where Amanda and I actually talk about our favorite films that involve war. And as boring as that is for some people that aren't engaged in that, I think we're giving out some bangers. So please look out for that episode if it hasn't released yet before this one comes out, or check it out if it has. But Pearl Harbor was, to me, one of those movies that was like, Titanic did it, let's do it too. And it was too long. And I understand like the history behind Pearl Harbor, but I think it had Ben Affleck in it.
Yeah.
And
Josh
somebody
Hartnett.
else who was
Josh Hartnett.
And Josh Hartnett, who had already done, maybe he hadn't. When was Black Hawk Down? Was that also?
It was right in there.
Was that? Yeah, at that maybe the same time. If I would have saw Black Hawk Down, it would have been like, oh, put Josh Hartnett in there. But I that was forgettable for me. But I remember
Black Hawk Down was
really
2001 as well.
Okay, so it was the same year. Same year. Wow.
I think Pearl Harbor is fine. Like, it's a huge, like, large scale war movie, essentially disaster
Right.
movie. I hate to say that in a way.
No, but I mean, it's a crazy day.
I think that I remember, like, what my age, right? Like middle school, high school. I know a lot of girls were watching it because it was Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett.
They were the heartthrob.
And
Josh Heartthrob.
And they were like, "Oh, this is 3 hours. My bad."
Yeah, I remember I saw it when it came out, like on V8, like DVD at home, and I was just like, "Oh boy, this movie's not for me." Like,
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason it's not on our list of best war movies, Amanda.
I think we talked about it though.
We did, because it deserves an honorable mention, because it was up there.
But it's not one of my faves.
People, but yeah, I'm not there. But obviously, it spoke wonders at the box office. Who directed Pearl Harbor?
Michael Bay.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
not shocked.
And he was coming off of doing Bad Boys before that, and so I imagine that it should have had enough action in it, but it's too long. There's too many. It's just too long. Too many slow move.
I think people are a little bit curious about Pearl Harbor too, because it is like an American, like
attack on American soil.
No, it's like a landmark.
Yeah.
Oh,
like it
sure.
is literally
Yeah,
a tourist
right.
destination.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it interests people in that manner.
That's fair. Okay.
Next is Ocean's 11.
I mean, a stellar cast. When
Yeah.
that was coming out, that's a fucking
And this was a
stellar
remake,
cast.
right?
Yeah.
From like a 19.
It had the Rat Pack.
50s.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Clooney,
Brad Pitt,
Pitt,
Matt Damon,
Yeah.
Julia Roberts.
I mean, these are all star 2001, like boom, 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 boom. Like you could put them all in a line and you'd be like, yep, those are the 2001 famous actors.
And I know this was a remake, but I feel like it really jump started like the heist movie era.
Absolutely.
Like this
Yeah.
was the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like.
It's in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what casino that they're heisting, but I mean, it spanned. I keep saying spanned when I want to say spawned. It spawned what? A whole series and then a female lead series as well.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I think at one point I owned all of them because I enjoyed them. I thought that they were
They're
good
fun movies.
like ensemble cast.
Yeah.
I guess almost, but
And they're that good, like cheeky, fast paced, like they're fun.
I think I saw the first two when I was younger, so I'll have to watch them again because at the time I don't remember loving them, but I think they might be more enjoyable to me now.
Probably.
I can't tell if they would hold up still to this day though, because some of that stuff doesn't.
Yeah.
And only maybe it's because of pacing, maybe it's because of the writing style of the time, but I remember enjoying it. So I think I could probably go back and like it again.
I'll rewatch it.
Okay. All right.
Jurassic Park 3.
Ooh, I'm taking this one to Amanda because I enjoy Jurassic Park, but I am not Amanda status on Jurassic Park.
Okay, here's the deal. Out of the three originals, in my opinion, this one is the second best.
Okay.
But like Jurassic Park 1 is like almost 10 out of 10. It's top.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like I think Jurassic Park 3 is like a 5 out of 10. Like,
Oh, got it. So 2 was like 2 out of 10 for you.
no, I would say it's like kind of right there too, a 5 out of 10. I have a really hard time with the second one because I just think there's some really stupid stuff in it that just doesn't make any
Okay.
sense. Along with the
Yeah.
third one. Okay, so the third one, essentially, nobody's on Jurassic Park anymore, right? Blah, blah, blah. Well,
Yeah.
this dad and son go missing. The mom hires Dr. Grant to go find the son. And then, of course, a myriad of other people get brought along with them. So now they essentially crash land on an island inhabited by dinosaurs and are trying to get off of the island.
So wait, is Jeff Goldblum in this one?
No.
Is he on the second one?
Yes.
Is he like the lead in the second one?
Yes. And his daughter
that's
does
right.
gymnastics moves and kicks raptors in the face.
Okay. So, yes, there's a lot of corn and a lot of hoke in number 2 that the third one.
Corn and hoke.
Yeah, the third one kind of brought it back in a little bit.
Oh no, there's
like it
corn.
wasn't
There's
as-
corn and hoke in this one too.
Okay.
Can we trademark that?
Corn and hoke. Can I also say what is the beginning scene where it's like little tiny dinosaurs running on a beach? Is that the third one? And what's the third one called? What's the name of it?
Jurassic Park.
It's
3.
yeah, it's literally just Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, it doesn't have like a title.
No, the second one is the Lost World Jurassic Park.
I wish you guys could know. Hopefully with that sound, you guys knew what she did. If you guys know Monster Energy Drink, Ashley just made like a claw sound and took 3 fingers and took them down vertically and said, it's Jurassic Park.
But that's what it is. That's the poster.
I
It's
know,
Jurassic
that's
Park
funny.
3.
That's
But it's like
funny.
a claw.
No.
Like a
No, we have to call it Jurassic Park.
Okay.
it's
Sorry.
it's not great.
We don't know what they sounded like.
What if dinosaurs were like, they sound like turkeys do now.
Oh my god.
Oh no, the T-Rex is chasing us.
Wait, aren't the T-Rexes most closely related to chickens?
Yeah, so
So
they're
T-Rexes are just like.
yeah, he's just like, he goes to like the roar. He's more like, fucking run, the chicken's after us. Okay, so Jurassic Park 3, cool. All right.
Cool.
All right.
What about apes, yo?
Wait, Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes.
Ooh, the first one?
Is this the Marky Mark
Yes.
one?
Yes.
Wait. I thought it was
Not the remake series.
oh
Tim
no,
Burton.
the Marky Mark one.
We're talking.
I didn't think
this
that
is
was good.
the Tim Burton one, bitch.
Yeah, I was not a fan of this one. I definitely enjoyed the remakes with Planet of the Apes, War, and oh shoot, I forgot what the last one is called. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. But this Marky Mark one, I remember being like, ugh, should have kept that one in the back.
Obviously, people had high hopes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for it being the 10th highest ranking movie that year.
2001 though, can you make people look like apes and it like not look weird yet? I don't know.
Probably not.
I mean, honestly, the original movie with like Charlton Heston, like they looked
Yeah.
bad then, and like
well, they look, but you knew what they were in that one because what was that 70s?
yeah, but I mean, they don't look
Yeah.
any better. They could because those
Fair.
those Planet of the Apes had very distinct faces, and they have
Yeah.
the same faces in the new one.
Yeah.
Tim, there's one saving feature of this movie is that Tim Roth as the main bad guy is amazing.
Okay.
His acting
I love
is great.
Tim Roth as
Yeah.
a bad
I
guy.
Me
love
too.
him.
Walking question mark, dude.
Other than that movie's trash.
Okay. I have nothing else to say about it. I just agree with Amanda.
You have to think of
'Cause-
it this way. If this one had not come out and been so terrible,
Yeah.
then they may not have corrected it
Rebooted it.
to reboot it.
Fair
Now
enough.
they're not connected, correct? They completely like that's discanon or whatever it's called. Uncanon.
as far as I know, people
Yeah.
want to forget that movie exists.
because I did when you guys just brought it up, I was like, oh, was that the one with not Frankie Muniz?
Frankie
Yeah,
Muniz
Muniz.
You remember when he was the ape?
and his dad sold crack.
Yes.
Wait, what was that? What was that movie? That Disney movie that Frankie Muniz was in, where like his legs didn't work, but he wanted to drive box cars?
I don't remember.
You don't remember
But I
that?
want to see it now. Look it up.
Hold on.
Give
Go,
us the
Amanda, go.
Give us the next movie.
Okay. A Beautiful Mind.
I love that movie. Did you see it?
Did this one win awards?
Yep. I'm pretty sure it was Picture of the Year. It's Russell Crowe, right?
It's Russell Crowe. It's directed by Ron Howard.
It's a great movie.
I remember
It's a great
this
movie.
one being a big deal. I think I saw it, but honestly, I only saw it the once. If I did.
And I feel bad because I remember watching it, but the plot hasn't
Because
stuck
it's
with
a
me.
true story, right?
He is like, is he special needs, or is that not? Because I know they had already done that with Rain Man, but I felt like it was something similar. Like they discredit him, he's not worth it, and then all of a sudden he ends up being a freaking genius for whatever reason. and helping with some monumental event. Basically every plot of every film like that.
Honestly, it doesn't say anything in the synopsis about him having any
Yeah. Maybe he was just socially
differences.
awkward.
That's what it says, is that he's asocial, but he's a
Yeah.
brilliant mathematician.
Right.
And he gets into cryptography.
Okay. I remember that movie actually flowing though, and actually being a pretty decent movie, but it is full on drama. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you finding, Amanda?
I was looking up if Russell Crowe's character in A Beautiful Mind is differently abled in any way.
Okay. I
so-
thought you were still on Frankie
We need
Muniz.
the Frankie
No,
Muniz
but-
movie.
Box Car
I
Children.
already got that. That's called A Miracle
Oh.
in Lane 2, but I was just letting you guys talk.
Oh,
Miracle
okay.
Lane 2.
Got it. Put it on the board. Deal. Okay.
That's where I
cool.
knew him from.
Okay. That's where you knew Frankie. I knew him from Malcolm
Yeah.
in the Middle.
And then
Okay,
I think
so-
he dated like Hillary Duff for a while.
So, Russell Crowe's character in A Beautiful Mind, he's like overly paranoid and really obsessive, but he ends up being diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay, so that's what he
Okay.
has. So he does have a mental illness.
okay,
Yeah.
but it's
Okay.
undiagnosed.
Well, and
Yeah.
people with schizophrenia live normal lives, but it apparently a lot of some certain people that he's like working with in the movie are all just in his mind.
Oh, that's what it
Okay.
is. That's right. He literally has who you think is a partner the entire time and ends up being in his head.
I need to
Yeah.
rewatch this
I
because the
think
fact that
you'd
it won
enjoy it.
awards
Yeah.
and like I literally don't remember the
Yeah.
movie.
I think you'd like it, Ash. I really do.
I think I would.
Cool. Okay, what you got?
You want to move on, Amanda?
Yeah.
You look like you're still intense.
She's deep
I'm-
in
I'm
Frankie
sorry.
Muniz
Yeah.
No.
filmography right now.
Yes.
I'm reading like the plot synopsis.
Do Frankie Muniz's legs really work?
Okay.
Hannibal.
Oh,
Banger.
I'm sorry. I got freaking confused thinking that you said Hancock, and I was like, oh, let's not talk
Why
about this
is
again.
this always the thing? Everything leads back. All roads lead back to Hancock.
God, that's not a planet I want to live on.
We're gonna pass. Okay, let's do this.
I'm
though.
getting you the T-shirt, Amanda.
Hannibal, which is the sequel to Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna take your word for that.
I thought it was.
It is.
I thought it was a direct sequel.
It is.
But it was a lot.
Amanda confirms.
But when was Silence of the Lambs? 1994.
Something like that.
Or
It was a long time
1993,
coming.
something.
For what it's worth,
Right.
I've read all the books. I am a huge Silence of the Lambs fan. It is
Yeah.
the next movie. Technically, I think in the Hannibal Lecter timeline, it
Yeah.
hits a little differently. But Hannibal was the next movie in the Silence of the Lambs movie series.
Now, is Anthony Hopkins in that one?
Yes.
Okay, because there's Red Dragon, which was a prequel, right?
Yes.
But he's not in that one. Or was he?
I think he is.
Because I just feel like, okay, I'm just confusing it because in the entire span, I feel like the actors went in and out, or it was like a young Anthony Hopkins or something
Yeah,
like
he's in
that.
Red Dragon because it does. Oh yeah, he's in Red Dragon because it does like flashbacks. Because
Okay,
then
and
that
maybe
leads
I always
to
thought those were weird,
that
yeah.
leads to Hannibal Rising, which was an even prequel-y or prequel.
Got it. Okay.
Prequel?
Yeah. I remember thinking it was okay. I don't remember like it wasn't like, oh my God, that's just as good as Silence of the Lambs. But also, Silence of the Lambs for me is like, yeah, put it on the board, but not one of my favorite like thrillers.
Yeah, no, it's
He's iconic because he's weird.
It's Anthony
Yes.
Hopkins and he's Hannibal Lecter and he's trying to reconnect with Clarice Starling, but I believe she's played by Julianne Moore in this movie.
That's why it's weird because they switched the characters.
But this one's interesting because it's
Yeah.
got okay, this one has my my boyfriend Gary Oldman and he plays this I'm trying to like remember it as I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so he plays this guy Anthony, okay, whoa, let me start at the beginning. So
Whoa.
Hannibal Lecter was like a psychiatrist, doctor, or whatever, and
Yeah.
he basically like attacked this man, Gary Oldman, and tried to eat his face off. Well, this guy is like super disfigured and stuff. Next time you have a moment and you know, if you're not squeamish, Google Gary Oldman Hannibal because like his face is
Okay.
all like fucked up and scarred and stuff. It's because of what Hannibal did to him. So,
Yeah.
a long story
Okay.
short, Hannibal like gets to him again and sort of
Oh,
finishes the job.
All right.
Also,
Fair.
he makes Ray Liotta eat his own brain.
Ugh.
Wow.
R.I.P. Ray.
Wow. How are we for time?
Give us like one more. We'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Is it bad?
American Pie 2.
Lame. Moved on to the next one.
I mean, we all know slapstick,
Lame.
silly.
Nobody watched it. Why did it make money? I don't know.
Because for some reason the Stifler stuff was funny back then, so they like kept
First
it going.
one was funny, so they tried to keep it going.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
Okay. The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, that was in 2001.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't realize it'd be so low on the list, but it makes sense because it was an intro, like the introductory movie to the franchise. To this day, I still think that movie holds up. Like, that's a guilty pleasure for me.
saw it.
I love the Fast and the Furious
I
series.
saw it in the theater twice. I loved that movie.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I thought that they did a great job. Dude, Vin Diesel, Paul Walker.
I mean, it was
like,
R.I.P.
yeah.
it was
RIP,
it was
man.
silly. Like it was just like a over the top car racing movie.
Yeah.
But the stunts that they did were great. Like the cars were cool and it was good. Like it's very
Yeah.
early 2000s, but
Sure.
it's not bad. They get dumber as they go. Now, don't get me wrong.
They get more hokey, but then they kind of bring it back around,
Hoke and
and
corn.
then it gets corn and
Corn
hoke
and hoke.
again.
But let me be clear.
Can't even get it
Yeah,
right.
Do
it
I
has its
do I think they're
and
corny?
downs.
Absolutely. Do I think they're hokey? 100%. Have I seen all of them? Yes, I have.
fair.
I think that they're good, just like popcorn movies.
That's exactly what they
Like-
are. And for the original though, maybe it was more important to us being from the Pacific Northwest, but having Chad oh my God, I'm going to forget his last name. He's the kid out of the group who does all the mechanic work for them, like the engineering.
God, what's his name?
Chad Boswick.
You're
No,
thinking of
that's-
Chadman. Like no.
That's
Chadwick Boseman.
that's definitely Black Panther. I'm sorry, I forget his name, but anyway, he was born and raised in our same county. And so for us, we were like, oh, we know this actor. He's like a local
Isn't
guy.
Chad Lindbergh?
Chad Lindbergh. And so I remember
Oh,
that
that
being a huge
guy.
Yes.
That
And
guy's
I
been
remember
in everything. He looks like he'd be from Washington. Wait, so
well, it's funny too because he worked at the Red Apple, which is like a small grocery store in Mount Vernon, and he goes in there from time to say hi to them all over again, and people get his autographs and stuff. But that's why that movie was big where we were, because people were like, "It's a local person, we have to support this."
don't
So
get
we
me
watched
wrong.
it.
Don't get me wrong. I like this guy because he's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
he 100% looks like someone who'd be from Mount Vernon.
and there you go.
He,
Yep.
you know who he reminds me of? Like
Yep.
Giovanni. If Giovanni Ribisi had like
Oh,
a crackhead
yes.
cousin.
You know who else is from Mount Vernon? Jim Caviezel.
Really?
Yeah, Jesus himself, dude. So we had those two actors, and those were big deals.
Interesting.
Out of the Skagit Valley
Big deal.
area. Good. Fast and Furious is a good one to end on.
Yeah.
So
So you want me to go through a few more?
yeah.
I
Why
tend
don't
to
you
like,
why don't you do a
quick fire.
Spitfire
Yeah.
and Amanda and I won't comment.
All right,
comment
Lara
on them.
Croft Tomb Raider.
Banger.
Okay.
Spy Kids. Black Hawk Down. We talked
Ooh.
about that. Princess Diaries. Vanilla Sky. The Others. Legally Blonde.
Banger.
Ooh, the others too.
Save the Last Dance.
No.
Oh shit.
Atlantis.
Oh, banger.
AI.
Oh, AI.
Bridget
Okay.
Jones' Diary. Shallow Hal. I saw that in the theater. Swordfish. The Mexican Wedding Planner.
Dang. See, there's a bunch of stuff that's more iconic to me than the top grossing ones.
I agree. Like as I'm going
Yeah.
through these, like I probably saw more in theater that are in the bottom 25.
Yeah.
Well, because I remember Shallow Hal was like a comedy of the century during
Rat
that
Race.
time.
I saw that one in theater too.
Yeah, so did I.
Yep. Interesting. Well, does 2001 make you feel good, make you feel bad? How you feel? Amanda was having a nostalgia moment.
I really
there
was.
with
This
some
whole
of
this
those.
whole
So,
list for me, I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. What is
I think 2002 will also be good for you.
I 100%. I think I was
Yeah.
at 2000 to like 2004, right? It's like middle school, high school. I'm going to probably go see movies with my friends, but
Mhm.
also like from a parent standpoint, we were also all old enough to sit and in a whole movie for the whole time.
right.
right.
Sure.
And I think once we got into high school, I think my parents started making a little bit more money. So I think like we had the money
Yeah.
to go see movies.
I mean, I had my jobs, so I had some cash to go see films then
Well,
too.
and you
so,
were
mhm.
like 17, 18. So
Yeah, it's when that
Yeah.
started, and then going to college and hanging out with those people too. So yeah,
So what
I probably saw a lot of films back then.
what was your favorite movie from the list?
Ooh, out of the ones that we talked about, I remember really enjoying A Beautiful Mind. When I saw it, I remember it was that moment. It was like Sixth Sense type of feeling when it ended. Like that's the type of twist I got out of it, and I remember enjoying that. My popcorn flick though is Fast and Furious for sure. Yeah, like that would have been ones that I went and saw with my friends, and we were always like, we came out of there, that was so cool. Did you see those cars? He jumped the muscle car. It was so awesome.
It was huge, and there's a
Yeah.
reason why there's now 10 of them.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, 100%.
Correct.
When I think it also, that movie hit right at the right time, right? Like early 2000s, everything's very extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And a car chase movie where they're doing crazy car stunts is going to be popular.
And it's, I mean, I don't know if like Gone in 60 Seconds and that type of stuff. And, what's the one with Marky Mark where they steal all the minis?
Italian Job.
Yeah, was that
Italian
stuff
Job.
all roughly the same time? Like 2000?
I want to say so.
Ish. I just feel like Fast and Furious was like at the top of those films. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when people thought about the car movie, that's
Italian Job
what
was
we got.
2003.
Okay, so I mean, we got a couple years, and then Too Fast and Too Furious came out, which is not good at all. Awesome. Well, where can people find us if they want to tell us their favorite 2001 flick, Amanda?
Yeah, so check out our Instagram at Roll Awkward Podcast and come tell me what your favorite 2001 movie was.
A Space Odyssey?
Sure, that works too.
Sounds good.
It's got 2001
All right,
in
Ash,
it.
Thanks for reading off the phone. I appreciate you.
You are so welcome.
Okay, all right, guys. We'll catch you on the next Box Office Throwback.
Bye-bye.
Bye.